Well, come on inside and get yourself something cool to drink.
And we are right around the corner.
Hey, Bachi.
Listen, y'all. Listen. Logo right there. Listen. Appreciate y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all downloading the Bleach Report app. Appreciate y'all tapping in with me. VOCHLOMBARDI on all platforms. Tell a friend, download the app. I would make use of the Dallas Cowboy tabs, NFL tabs, and the NFL draft tabs. Those are cool tabs that I'll pop up on at any given moment. I just pop up on them at any minute now. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, 6 p.m. Central. I pop up any minute now. I pop up soon. You never know. All right. Appreciate y'all for being here with me. Listen, the draft is right around the corner. I said that as part of the intro, but it's right around the corner. And you know, of course, there are a list of usual suspects that we've been talking about up to this point. I really could have made this 3 different shows, really. But I ain't got to say that much content. We're right around the corner. Listen, man, you know, we've been talking about the usual suspects, man. The usual characters. And look, I could make this the 5 most likely Cowboy targets. You know what I'm saying? And those names would be Ted McMillan, Matthew Golden. I've heard a great deal about both of them. I would say Will Johnson's on that list. Okay. Michael Williams is on that list, and I'm only saying that because people inside the building are saying such things. I'm just hearing them chirping in terms of likeliness and likelihood, you know? I know they like Walter Nolan. I don't know if they'll take him that high. I know Armand Membu is a 30 visit. We'll talk about him in a second. Just hang tight. But it's just a couple of names that we should be familiar, like Kelvin Banks. You know what I'm saying? We've been hearing Kelvin Banks off season, kind of died down a little bit, you know, and then he pops up as a 30. You know what I mean? Just certain names that we should just familiarize ourselves. That the Cowboys have kind of, I don't want to say leaked into the media, but we just know, right? And man, the past couple of years when those names kind of leak into the media, the Cowboys don't really go in that direction. So when we hear about the Walter Nolans and the Will Johnsons and the Michael Williamses, I feel really nervous about those guys. I feel nervous about those guys. And I say, damn, boy, like we could draft much better players at this point. Why are we drafting these guys? Damn, I'd be hurt if the Cowboys took them. But it's interesting because the Cowboys, like, why would they let us know this? Normally in the, you know, and especially in the past couple of years of this thing, the past couple campaigns of this thing, the Cowboys have been particularly secretive. To where I'll give you an example. Y'all just 1 year, couple years ago, shouts out to all our media friends. But people like James Slater and Todd Archer. I've had them on my show, by the way. Y'all can find it on YouTube. But people like them, Michael Gelkin was another one. He's not working Cowboys no more. But those people hopped on the beat on the tweet machine, and they was like, "Hey, y'all, boy, do the Cowboys love Michael Mayer? If I had to bet, if Michael Mayer's there, Michael Mayer would be the pick." Now, why would they say that? Why would James Slater say? See, James Slater knows her stuff. James Slater knows her stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't look at James like a nuanced draft gal. You know what I'm saying? Why would she say that? Why would Todd Archer and them say that? Why would Michael Gelkin come out and say, "Hey, they like Michael Mayer"? Why would they say that? And then we get to the draft, it's almost like Michael Mayer not even there. Or we'll get so much hype around Jonathan Brooks. I remember him last year, the running back from Texas. There will be so much hype about Jonathan Brooks. And man, I know we had interest in running back, but man, we ain't even go running back last year. We ain't We thought about going running back last year, but we didn't go Jonathan Brooks and we didn't go running back last year. So I was like, man, where did that come from? So a part of me feel like when I hear names coming from the organization, I feel like I shouldn't believe them. I feel like I just shouldn't believe them, you know? I never remembered nobody giving us hints about Matthew Bergeron, the offensive lineman from Syracuse, coming out. But Will McClay gave the presentation for Bergeron versus Mozzie Smith. He gave a flat out presentation about those two guys. I'm like, man, we ain't talk about them. We talked about Michael Mariner. So I get a little, worried. You know what I'm saying? But chat, I saw this list of players that are going to be at the draft that have accepted the invitation to fly out to Wisconsin. They're going to fly out to Wisconsin and they're going to be a part of the draft. Like they're going to, be at the actual draft, right? And I won't go over those names or I won't go down that list because I don't even know if this person even want me to know. The damn list might be out. You could do your Googles, but based on how I learned the list, I don't know if I share like that. But what I will say is I know that there's going to be some quarterbacks attending the draft. Jackson Dart's going to be at the draft. Jalen Milroe is going to be at the draft. Those are guys that, people got day 2 grades on. Some people have day 3 grades on attending the draft, the first round of the draft. So that lead me to believe something. If those guys go top 11, which would make our day because you bump guys down to the board, or they'll go like somewhere in the first round and it'll bump a player to us in the second round. That's perfectly fine. But what we really hoping for, and this is likely to happen, because the Saints kind of need quarterback help. And there's a couple other teams that could be trading up. There's some teams that may want to trade up with Dallas to come get a quarterback. You never know. I'll take them picks for sure. There are teams that may want to move up to go get some quarterback help. In front of 12, let's just say, to go get quarterback help. We believe Jackson Dart has entered the party. Well, ladies and gentlemen, adding another quarterback to the party, that means another dude for us to talk about. That's another dude for us to talk about, right? So I get excited when we hear about quarterbacks moving up the board. Please move your ass up the board because we not drafting quarterback. Not this year. We just sent New England a 5th round pick to draft our quarterback. Joe Milton, that's our guy. So I started looking around and I said, man, these are some players that Cowboy fans might want to familiarize themselves with because, for one, they might be on the board because they've been pushed down, or two, the Cowboys have just seemed to be an unpredictable drafting conglomerate for the past couple of years. We don't know who the Cowboys going. Man, we didn't think Mozzie Smith was going to be a 1st round pick, or at least we was interested in him. We had a feeling that they liked Tyler Guyton, but man, we didn't think he was going to be here. We didn't think that. Or even the 2nd and 3rd rounds with Marshawn Nealon and Louisville. We didn't think those guys were going to be picked there. Schoonmaker. We didn't think Luke Schoonmaker was going to be. So the Cowboys really been making some wild ass picks, right? So before y'all come out and say, well, Voch, the Cowboys will never draft them. Y'all ass don't know nothing. The Cowboys will draft me and be like, hey, man, Voch was the best player on our board at the time. And they won't care about nothing you got to say. Hey, let's take a look at a handful of players. I say 5 players that we should just kind of be ready to familiarize ourselves with just in case. One of them is linebacker Jahad Campbell. Let me make me a circle. Linebacker Jahad Campbell from Alabama. Now, the Cowboys have linebacker woes in our linebacker room. Of course, I know we have Louisville there from last year. We signed a couple of veterans in Kenneth Murray and what's his face from the Bears. I still don't know his name. You can insert the Chris Tucker rush hour meme. Don't nobody know his name. You know what I'm saying? I still don't know. But Ball from the Bears. But long story short, I don't think him and Kenneth Murray are long-term options. Damone Clark's not a long-term option. DeMarvin Overshown in real life would be a long-term option, but we just simply have no idea where he's gonna be. We just have no idea where he's gonna whether he's gonna come back at full like 100% overshown strength or not. We would love for him to come back 100%, but we just don't know. So I think the Cowboys, it would behoove them to invest in the linebacker room at some point. And I think 12 overall would be a little too high for Jahai Campbell, but the Cowboys have surprised me in many ways otherwise. So it is what it is. But I do think Jahai Campbell's a guy that can go in this range that we should probably keep our eyes on. You don't know another name we ain't really talking about for real? I kind of been seeing his name pop up in these conversations. Tyler Warren, by the way, tight end from Penn State. I've been seeing his name pop up in these conversations here and there. Now, I don't have Tyler Warren particularly as a high first round graded player on my board in particular. Tyler Warren is a second round grade for me. But just as a stacked player, I kind of got Tyler Warren down the board a little bit. I don't have Tyler Warren just way up there. I just don't see him as a bona fide Gronkowski type dude, or I don't see him as a Brock Bowers type guy. I just don't see him as that. I think he's a fantastic player, but by way of what tight end really is, I almost got him way all over. I can't even find him. But by way of what tight end really is, there he goes. Tyler Warren is my 21st overall player. I'm in the way. Y'all can't see right there. Tyler Warren is my 21st overall player. I think he's a good player, but just tight ends typically go later, or the best ones go later in the draft. But anyway, Tyler Warren's the guy that you have to acknowledge that people believe that he's one of the better players in this draft, one of the best players in this draft. And there's a lot of people saying, yo, Voch, you need to give Dak Prescott some weapons. I know when y'all hear that, y'all think wide receiver and running back, and you wouldn't be wrong. But depending on the personnel packages you line up in, Tyler Warren could be a weapon in that package. Now, do I think Tyler Warren will get to 12 overall? I do not. I think it's a real life conversation that Cowboy fans need to be having, because for one, if he's stacked highly on the board, we run into some weird situation, the quarterbacks go high, Tyler Warren could be on the board for you there, and the Cowboys could value him higher than some of these other picks. They simply could. And we know the Cowboys, or at least Jerry Jones as a separate entity there. I wouldn't call him the Cowboys, but we know Jerry Jones will draft a tight end early because I believe he was a fan of Kyle Pitts. He was publicly a fan of Kyle Pitts. I don't think this is a pick that we need to be worrying about necessarily, but the Cowboys have done some wild things, and they've shocked me in similar situations. So I just want to be ready. I don't think this is going to be the pick, but I will do my damnedest to just be prepared in case he is. You feel me? I don't think we talking about Shamar Stewart enough. The edge rusher from Texas A&M. He's not a guy that we mention like a whole bunch, but he's a guy that if you're not familiar, you need to familiarize yourself with the damn Shamar Stewart. He's a guy that's another developmental type player, and the Cowboys bug the hell out of me with these developmental players where they feel like take the traits and we'll coach them up. I think that's a bad philosophy to live by, but it is what it is. And honestly, the last couple of first round picks that we've drafted have been like sort of developmental guys, but those are like back of the draft picks. Hopefully us being at 12th overall give us a better opportunity to get like a bona fide dude that's ready to go already. Like Ted McMillan's ready to go already. I don't think Shamar Stewart's quite ready to go already. He's got some issues he needs to work out. He still runs down the middle of people. He doesn't have a bunch of pass rush moves that he needs to work on. And I don't even think he's ready as a rundown guy right now, but he has all the traits in the world you would like. But I've seen the Cowboys shock us for less. I don't particularly think this is a thing that's going to happen, but I've seen the Cowboys shock us for less. You understand what I'm saying? So I just need y'all to keep your eyes open, keep your eyes peeled, and just be ready and familiarize yourself with Shamar Stewart because it's a possibility. Would I take him in the first round? No, I got a third round grade on him, but I'm probably on the island with that. I know me and Brian Broadus feel the same way about the player. That he has a lot of work to do. He's naturally gifted, but there's some work to be done there. I don't believe in the work needs to be done guy. I don't want to trust your work ethic and the coaches on our team to fix you from ground up. I need to see what you good at right now. And what he's good at right now is being athletic, and I don't think that's enough, honestly. But be ready. I don't think Shamar Stewart to be. I mean Shamar. Yeah, I don't think Shamar Stewart to be the pick. But boy, the Cowboys have led me down a damn path of similar virtue. So prior preparation, ladies and gentlemen. You probably heard me talk about this a little bit, but not too much in any, real, like an official type situation, right? Like, you haven't heard people say, "Hey, the Cowboys are interested in Tyler Booker." You probably heard Voch say, "Oh yeah, Voch would take Tyler Booker at 12 overall," but you haven't heard the Cowboys say it. Now, Tyler Booker has accepted his invite to the combine. I don't know if that's something y'all could, just Google and see, but it's just something I got right now. It's just something that's in my mind right now. Don't ask me how, but Tyler Booker accepted his invite. So that at least tells me he's a first round player. Now the Cowboys, I don't think they'll be looking at Tyler Booker specifically, but they do want to go O-line. Zach Martin just retired, and we know they want to go O-line because they like certain offensive linemen. Like they brought in tackles as 30 visits, but those tackles can project as guards. Tyler Booker is a guard, so we at least have a feeling that the Cowboys are going to go guard at some point. They've done Dallas Day visits with certain guys that'll be guards. So I think there's an opportunity for the Cowboys to take a guard. We just don't know when they will take a guard, but we don't know what situation will arise. We don't know what situation will arise that would put the Cowboys in a mindset of, hey, we need to replace Zach Martin. We need to make this O-line fantastic again. And we need to take Tyler Booker and plug him right in at right guard. And you want to talk about somebody that's going to be celebrating, I'll stand up and clap. I'll stand up and clap if the Cowboys take a guard. I know y'all won't be happy, especially if you take them in, both those wide receivers on the board. I just have a feeling, I just got a good feel for where Cowboy fans at with it. But if you have an opportunity to draft Tyler Booker, I don't think the Cowboys will do it, but the Cowboys have done some goofier stuff, some stranger things. I don't think taking a guard that can actually play guard when you need guard is far-fetched at all. And I mentioned him earlier. That's my big board there. We don't need this here. I mentioned him earlier, but Armand M'Bou, he is a Cowboy 30 visit guy. He was here. He was at the Star, and I know this because I work at the Star. I work at the Star and I saw him over there. But Armand M'Bou, he's a guy that plays right tackle, and he will play right tackle for you, but he also has some right guard ability in him. I think he's played guard once in his life, but I would have to imagine that he will start as a guard for you. And when you're tired of paying Terrence Steele money or his guaranteed money runs out, I would imagine you move on from Terrence Steele. You just plug Armand M'Bou right at right guard where he naturally is and go find a new guard. In my mind, that's what I think will happen. Now, Armand M'Bou was a 30 visit. I think that's important. And the Cowboys seem to have a liking to him because they at least want to inquire and ask questions about Armand M'Bou, or at least ask him questions, which is fine, perfectly fine. Ain't no problem with that. But I think Armand M'Bou is a guy that kind of like Tyler Warren. I think he's probably solidified himself as one of the top players in this draft. And I think Armand M'Bou would be going. If I had to guess, I would assume that M'Bou would be out of here. But quarterbacks are going a little earlier. We've seen reports that running back is going to go earlier than we thought. We don't know what the run on wide receiver is going to look like. We don't know which offensive linemen are going to go. So in real life, I would say that Armand M'Bou won't be there, but teams kind of weird and they suck at draft. So there's no telling what's going to happen. And even when Armand M'Bou gets on the board, I wouldn't even assume that the Cowboys would draft. I don't know where they have him on the board, but He's a dude that got traits, and I've seen the Cowboys do some weirder, wouldn't see that coming type picking. So I'm not just ready to write Armand Membo off, and you shouldn't either. I think you should just prepare your body. All right, you should just prepare your body for the idea that Armand Membo could be drafted, and I don't think he will. But you know how we get down, and when I say we, I mean them, not us. All right. I love y'all to pieces, man. Y'all be sure to tap in with me. Not Wednesday, but Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are my days here at Bleach Report at 6 p.m. Central Time. And y'all be sure to tap in. I love y'all to pieces. Download the Bleach Report app and catch me on YouTube and Twitter. VOCHLOMBARDI. Y'all hold it down until next time. Peace.